Hi friends, welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we live and garden here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. It is the end of September. In fact, today I believe is Friday the 30th of September. And so many of us have been gathering seeds from our plants all season long, and so that we can store them for the winter and then sow them in the spring and have free plants for our efforts. And I thought I would share today some of the seeds that I've been collecting lately and maybe give some tips and tricks of things that I have learned this year that I didn't know before. So come with me and let's talk about seed saving in the garden. So this isn't going to be a comprehensive study of seed saving. There are going to be more informative videos out there on other gardeners' YouTube channels than what I'm going to offer here, but this is what I'm doing around my house here at Harmony Hills Home and Garden. In the middle of the summer, around the end of June, my Delphinium had flowered and gone to seed. So I collected the stems and I turned them upside down and I shook them out inside of a container. And this is how I collected the seeds of my Delphinium. I also happened to collect one little earwig, which was not a happy sight. Anyway, so I just shake them out upside down and then I saved them. I'm storing my seeds in paper envelopes. You can use regular mailing envelopes or you can buy specific envelopes for them or whatever. What you don't want to do is enclose them too much tightly in plastic because they might mold. If you keep them in a plastic baggie or something. You could put them in a brown paper sack or something like that. I'm using the same method for my foxgloves. Once they've dried and the seed pods are all dry, then you just shake them out and dump them out, and they're very prolific. You get lots of foxglove seeds from one plant. This is my Columbine, and it has these really cool looking tubes that the seeds are in these little cups, and you can see down in there those little black seeds down in those little cup-shaped tubes. And again, same thing, you just turn them upside down and shake them out. The seeds just fall right out. See how many we already got. You can still hear them shaking in there. There's still a lot in there, but I'm getting plenty, so I'm not going to worry about opening up every single seed pod here. So out of these seed heads, I got all of that seed. It's amazing. I've learned over the years, label right away, otherwise I forget, guaranteed. These straw flowers are way past seeding time, so I'm going to pull these off and hopefully not drop any on the ground. Excellent. There's one more. Somewhat like dandelion fluff. They blow in the wind to spread themselves around. So out of these 4 flower heads, I got all of these seeds. And most of this material is fluff, but as you can see, those black dots, those are the seeds. So those other seeds I saved earlier in the season, but here we are, the last day of September, and I'm looking at this annual vinca. This is sold as just an annual in my area as a source for seeds that I can, instead of buying bedding plants next spring, I might be able to sow my own and grow my own in the spring. Let me share with you, when you first look at these, it's not intuitively obvious where the seed pods are, but let me show you what I found. These plants are nice and healthy and lush, and I just love them, and they're just so happy and easy too. But if you look really closely, you can find seed pods on some of the stems. This is what the seed pods look like. They come as these pairs of long, what look like mini green beans, maybe. So I'm guessing that the biology is similar to a green bean. I don't know. I'm not a biologist or botanist or whatever. But anyway, so these pods have seeds inside, and you can see here that this one actually has already dried and burst and left its seeds on the ground underneath this plant. So I'm going to break this off, and we're going to look at this a little bit more closely. So this one has already opened and shed its seeds. This one looks like it might be drying out pretty soon, and same with this. This one looks like it got cut by the weed whacker or a lawnmower or something, or maybe a pest ate it. And this looks like lawnmower damage to me, knowing that it was on the edge of the grass right here. That's probably what that is. Probably got chopped to it by the lawnmower. So what I'm looking for is something that's dried, but not dried all the way. Because if it's dried all the way, then there's no seeds left in it. And if it's not dried yet, then the seeds aren't ripe. Let me just share. I break this apart. Sorry for my dirty fingernails. I should not bother getting manicures. But okay, so there's one of the seeds that I squeezed out. See, it's still green, it's still wet, it's not dry and not ready to be planted. So I want to dry these off, but I don't want to pick them now because they're still green. But I don't want them to open on their own. I'm going to do a little bit of a search underneath these plants and see if I can find any seed pods that are less mature, or rather more mature. Like this stalk has all kinds of seed pods along it. And like these are the oldest ones. But I just don't think they're quite ready to pick off yet. These definitely are not ready to pick. There's one that's already opened. Let's scoot down the way here. Maybe I'll get lucky. I don't know. Oh, look here. Maybe down under here. All right, here's one. It's looking pretty dry. So I'm going to save that one. This one doesn't look dry, but I'll go ahead and save it because it was on the same stalk. Oops, lost it. There we go. All right, let's see. Can I find any other that are almost dry? But these. Oh, those are still pretty moist. This is the driest one that I've found so far. I'm going to comb through these plants and I'm going to look for some seed pods that are already dry. The other thing I could do, of course, is wait another week or two and maybe come out every day and look. It's kind of like harvesting your green beans. You got to come out every day because some are ready that day, but they weren't ready the day before, something like that. Anyway, I've never gathered vinca seeds before, so this is a first for me, and I don't know if it's going to be worth the effort, but I'm sure going to give it a try. Why not, right? Hey, look at this one I found. You can actually see the ripened seeds on the inside, so I think this one is ready. It's interesting, I'm finding that the stalks that are on the outside of the plant have more seed pods on them than the stalks that grow on the interior of the plant, and that's interesting, as if it wants to drop its seeds away from the mother plant and proliferate across the ground. Oh, look here. This one opened, but not all the seeds have fallen out of it yet. So that's what it does naturally. And next year I will have volunteers of this plant in this area. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. But that's how I get volunteers, these seed pods. Now, I've never looked for these seed pods before. This is new to me this year, and I was thinking, I know that they sell seeds, so I wonder what the seed pods look like. So then I just came looking, and this is what I found. So get to know your plants. Stick your nose in there. Start asking it, where are your seed pods? And pretty much, if you keep asking, it'll tell you. Now, I'm not doing an exhaustive search here, and I do have lots of other vinca plants that I could go searching on. Sorry for my mess, I've been working out here. But, you know, I think I'm just gonna start with a few this year and see if I can get them to work, and if I do, then next year I'll know that I should be more persistent about looking for the seeds. And actually, I'm guessing that if these do work, that I'll have more than enough seeds for the plants that I wanna have next year. So, yeah, that's my vinca seeds. So I have a nice collection of vinca seeds here. Some of them you can see are much more ripened in the pods than others. You can see the black seeds. Oops, drop some. You can see the black seeds inside the pods. All of these pods are wet because I recently watered out here. So I'm going to definitely spread these out on a paper towel and let them all dry for sure. And I might even let them, like the pods, shrivel up and turn brown before I put them into an envelope. But I'm certainly going to let them air dry from the watering that they just received. There are some seed pods here on this Baptisia. I'm going to go ahead and pull those in. Now, I have never yet successfully sown Baptisia off of this plant. I've tried several different ways, but I've not succeeded. But I'm going to continue to try because it's free, it's fun. Why not do it, right? I think that's all there are, just 2 this year. These Adgeratum have been wonderful performers all summer long. They have grown gloriously big, and they have this beautiful blue color. I just absolutely adore these. So at this time of year, I'm cutting off the ones that are beautiful and fresh, and I'm going to hang these upside down to dry. But I'm also cutting off the ones that have dried and gone to seed, and I'm saving some of these seeds so that I can grow these again next year. Now, I imagine I'm going to have self-seeded Adgeratum out here because of how prolific these flowers have been, and lots of seeds have already fallen onto the ground. But I'm still going to save some and start some indoors, just in case the ones out here don't self-seed. So these are really easy to harvest. I'm just pulling off these brown bits and then just kind of pushing them in my fingers. And I probably have already saved more than I could ever possibly do. So there's that. I have no idea if these are going to actually germinate. They may be sterile. I don't know. Are there such things as sterile seeds? Or if a plant is sterile, does it not even make a seed? I don't know. That sounds like a Google question. So anyway, that's what's happening with this Adgeratum. I'm saving some to dry and trimming back the rest. Now I won't save all of these seeds, but I could if I wanted to go into Adgeratum farming. Probably not going to do that. And I'm going to save some of them on the plant so that the plant can continue to be beautiful until the frost comes and takes it away. It's a bit taxing, but it's nice enough to do. Do you like to weed and deadhead in your garden? I do. Some days, especially when the weather's nice. It doesn't feel like a chore. It feels like a getaway. Come out in the garden, be with your own thoughts. For drying flowers, you don't really want to take any inside to dry that have already gone to seed because they'll fall apart and they're not going to be as pretty because the seeds are brown. So when I'm looking for things to dry, I want to make sure that they're either just barely opened or just recently opened. And on this one, I see one little flower head that is beyond, and so I took it off. Now I suppose instead of deadheading a stem at a time, I could have come back in here and sheared these back mid-season and let them reflush. These do have some spider mite damage on them, and they're not perfectly gorgeously beautiful fresh plants, but that's a lot of work, and I struggle with cutting back a plant when it's looking pretty good for the most part, because I know it'll reflush and look better in the end, but in the meantime it's nothing to look at, so I struggle with doing that. So here we are. So this is definitely enough Adgeratum seed to save. I have no business saving more than this, so the rest of it I'm just going to deadhead and put into the compost bin. Now these Millennium Allium, they have definitely gone to seed. I do see seeds on them right here. So if you wanted more Millennium Allium, I'm guessing you could save these seeds and grow them again. And I wonder how much volunteer I'm going to get. Like if this falls down, is that going to give me free plants underneath here? I don't know. But look, all of these seeds are bursting open. I'm going to volunteer down there. Should we save some of these? Not all of them have seeds, it looks like. I don't see any seeds on this one. But maybe, like, there's some seeds there. I'm going to save these 4 heads and see how many seeds I can get out of them. I don't think this little fuzzy part is any seed part. I think that's just chaff. I think the seed is this black part, so I don't think that there are seeds in this section. So I'm going to pull all these apart and see. No, those are unfertilized flowers. They were not pollinated. Like, here's one. The seeds are sticking to the inside of the seed pod. They don't want to just shake out. So that's kind of interesting. See here, there's some 1, 2, 3 seed pods, but when I shake it, they don't fall out. So I'm having to pull them off, which may mean maybe they're not ripe yet, or maybe, I don't know. All right, well, this is all I got out of 4 flower heads of Millennium Allium, but it's worth trying, right? You never know. Baptisia. Their seeds look like tiny kidney beans. That's allium. This is Baptisia. These Gumferena, these are the Truffle pink Gumferena from Proven Winners. And I believe they're sterile. I could be wrong about that, but this would be where the seeds are going to be, if they're going to be seeds. I do see what looks like the beginnings of a seed, but I don't know if there are actually seeds on this. I think I'm going to go ahead and collect them as if there are seeds on it, and then try to germinate them. And if they don't germinate, then I know that there were no seeds on them. I do want to mention other types of ornamental alliums. These are Christophii, purple sensation, and Schubertii allium heads that I grew in the spring. They're bulbs that you put in the ground in the fall, and these flower in the spring. And I saved some of the seed heads just as this dried arrangement right here. They kind of look like fireworks a little bit. And when you look closely on them, there are seeds in here. So if I wanted to, I could save these seeds as well as a way to propagate. I think this is Purple Sensation, and this is Schubertii here. And the Schubertii seeds are on these little interior doodads. And yeah, so a few different kinds of allium here. And they do have seed heads on them, kind of like chives or regular onions. So that would be an option for seed saving as well. I'm choosing not to do that because I don't know why. I'm just not. Another super easy source of seeds are dahlias, especially the ones grown from seed. I've tried to have seeds come out of dahlias that I bought from tubers, so the big dinner plate kind, the cactus kind, and I've not had success finding the seeds actually, and I'm not sure that they do produce seeds. I don't know. But seed dahlias certainly do. This is a dahlia that I grew from seed last year in 2021. I thought I got the tuber out of the ground, and I apparently didn't, because it grew back again for me this year. It's a very happy, cheery yellow dahlia, which I really like. And the seeds on it are super easy to harvest. So you just find a spent flower head like this one, and pull it apart, and there are seeds on the inside. So what I'm doing is I'm looking for a dried up seed head. Like this one is a spent seed head, but it's not quite dry. So I'm looking for a drier one. And like, here's one. So this is the benefit of not deadheading your plants. So let me set this down, see if I can do this. All right, so when you pull this apart, there are seeds inside there. It may be difficult to see, but let's see what we can do. It's kind of like a marigold, actually. If you've ever seen marigold seeds, it's similar to that. And so they kind of fall apart, and they are these little straight things with the black ends. Those are the seeds of a dahlia. Let me see if I can find another one to show a better example. Let's try this one. Yeah, there we go. So I don't know if you can see, but this is one, and there it is. These are the little seeds. Another excellent source of free seeds for your garden are from zinnia heads. In fact, these zinnias right here on the front corner are all volunteers. I didn't plant these pink and orange ones here, these magenta ones. These are third generation volunteers from a set of zinnias that I did plant out here 4 years ago. So you can save all of these zinnias. You never know what you're going to get because they intermix and they're open pollinated, and so you know, they come out orange and magenta and pink and some yellows, some double, some single, some super double, etc. But it's a nice little happy surprise to see what you're going to get when you collect zinnia seeds and reuse them for next year. Or do like I do and just let your zinnias be out here, and they dry naturally, and I never deadhead them. And so then their seed heads just fall to the ground and are next year's crop of volunteer zinnias. I should mention that these are my volunteer zinnias, but back there, those are Benry's Giant, and I did grow those from seed. I bought those seeds and planted them there this year. I'm going to be interested to see if I get any Benry's Giant Reds next year as volunteers. I'm not sure. We'll see. Here's another volunteer plant. All of these right here are volunteers. But look at this one. It's different. It's green. Whereas that one has more turned yellow. So it feels like this is a different species or variety than this. Not species, but a different variety than this. But look at this. This is one, I think, volunteer plant, but all of these colors are on the same plant. The same plant has this. Here's a light pink with a yellow center. Here's another light pink with a yellow center, but it's a little faded. This one's magenta with a magenta center. There's, you know, different shades, almost white down there. Here's an almost white with a little bit of green edging. It's just amazing. This is all one plant, and yet such a diversity of flowers on it. Now here's a seed plant that I have never actually collected seeds from, and I don't know if it would be worth it or not. So this liatris here, this is also called blazing star, or what else? Liatris. I don't remember what other, gay feather, there we go. Liatris, gay feather, or blazing star, all are this plant right here. And I was just looking at it, and there are seed heads all over it. And look here. You see all those seeds? Everywhere there was a flower head, there now is a clump of seeds. So now the thing is, I've never really noticed that these liatris do a lot of self-seeding. You would think they would, with all of these seeds that just fall to the ground like that. I don't know. So it may or may not be worth collecting seeds from your liatris. Have you ever done it? I don't know. I haven't. Let me know in the comment section if you have done liatris successfully from seed like this. Well, friends, I hope that this video gave you some ideas about how you can find seeds in your own garden so that next year's garden can be less expensive but still as beautiful as this year's was. Are you collecting seeds in your garden? If so, let me know in the comment section down below. Which seeds do you reliably collect year to year? Which are you trying that you're not sure are going to work? Maybe you don't collect seeds. Tell me why. Let me know what you do with regard to seed collection in your garden. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you for watching today. I hope you're having a wonderful day in your gardens, and I'll see you again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.